cheerleader sponsors, the bombers, the coaches, the grandparents. My dad, B. Mendham's here. Is anyone else's grandparents here? Or a special guest? Cliff Mendham, Farmer Bombers here. We have 3 Farmer Bombers that played at Dothan High that are here with us tonight. They're seniors. Chad Mims, Chip Van, and Bobby Copley. They played on an undefeated team in 82. And Chad played in 83. Both teams were undefeated and city champs. After much blood, sweat, a ton of tears this past year, these boys finally brought it home in numerous fights. There was at least 3 fights every practice. But I'm really proud of this one. I think I'm proud of this championship more so than any other ones, with the exception of our first championship. And it really meant a lot to us, I know, as coaches. And we have a special guest here with us tonight. Elston Jones, who runs our program, is here. And Elston has done a super job and has been with the program, with the city, 9 years, and ran the football program 9 years. And his presentation that he'd like to make, I'd like to give everyone Elston a big hand, please.
Doing this at the coach banquet tonight, really did. Kind of gave me a scare, but things worked out for the moment. Each year, the Department of Leisure Services gives an award for one of the outstanding people in the youth football program. I tell the coaches every year it's a real hard job for me because I can't single out. It's hard. I'll say it's hard to single out just one person when everybody do a real outstanding job. But next year we're going to kind of put the burden on the coaches to make the decision. What they do is nominate people from their teams and turn over to me, and we check grades and get comments from the coaches on attitudes and things like this. And I'll sit down and talk with this thing 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 nights, and I'll finally make a decision. This year, we chose Richie Crowder for the Howard D. Cole Memorial Award. This award is given each year to an outstanding person in the Recreation Department youth football program for outstanding achievement in academics, attitude, leadership, both on and off the field. Like I said, it was a hard job to single out just one person, but we finally wound it down. Would Rich come forward, please? Let me read it for you. Dr. Now Nico Junior Memorial Award presented to Richie Ellis Crowder for outstanding scholastics, athletics, sportsmanship, 1988 football season. And it has the Department of Leisure Service logo at the top. Real nice plaque.
My wife Judy, David Mendham and his wife Leah, Tommy Wells and his wife Cynthia, Reed Underwood and his wife Kathy. Kathy wouldn't sit up here with us. And we, all of us coaches, just appreciate you wives putting up with us so very much and allowing us to do that. We appreciate you parents bringing the kids out and letting them play with us and stay out. We had several more quit this time than we've had in the past. They quit when the hard part was over. Some of us couldn't understand the boys quitting at that late in the game. And
saying that they enjoyed cheering for the Bombers. They were a great team. It's fun to always cheer for a winning team. My job as a sponsor was made real easy this year because I had some smart girls that came to practice. They learned their cheers, they learned their routine so easily. Lisa McKenzie. Kelly. Have some girls out tonight. Shannon Holland has put up front, I heard. Amanda Strong. Jennifer Rios not here. Emily Malden. Tara Smith. Mandy Houston. Krista McNeil. Amanda Johnson. And I hope these girls are going to be back next year. I had 3 11-year-olds and no 12-year-olds, so I hope they'll be back next year to cheer for the Bombers.
I said, boys, I know you don't want to do this. They said, we do so much, coach. If you just want to get up and tell. I said, what's wrong with y'all got to do?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the men for inviting me to this banquet tonight. It's a real privilege for me to be here. And I remember back when I played the Bombers back in 1983, we had the undefeated season, and we won city championships, 7-0 against the Jets. Yeah, I'll always remember that right there. I mean, it was one of my favorite highlights of my life so far. I'll never forget that. And I'd just like to thank God for giving me the ability to play the great game of football, and thank the Minimums for teaching me and guiding me through the times, the hard times, all the down times and stuff like that. And it's just a great game. And I'll encourage all the guys to continue playing football. If you stop playing football, you'll regret it later on in life. And I just want to encourage you to keep up your grades when you get in high school and your elementary years and middle school years. Just grades are important. They're real important. And I like to encourage the cheerleaders to do the same thing. Continue cheering. As football players and everything, we need support, and that's where the majority of it comes right there. Is y'all the ones to get the fans up, continuing on. And I just like to encourage y'all to keep cheering and keep the spirit up. And football players continue, keep grades up, because that's a major part of it right there. And like I said, I just want to thank God and thank the Mendons for their teaching me how to play football. They're the ones that taught me how to play football. I'm going to be honest with you. They taught me discipline, self-discipline, and that's what life's about, discipline. And I just want to thank them for having me here again. Thank you.
I think we just let Chad win the piece. I don't think I want to fight that. Chad played linebacker for us, and phone outfits, fullback. He was a striker now. Or some of you boys could have seen him play. Chip and Bobby. Chip played linebacker and fullback, tailback. He was slow. Bobby played on the line, didn't he? Bobby was lineman for us. Okay, Chip.
Well, I would just like to congratulate the boys on being city champions once again this year, and I would just like to tell y'all that football is a great sport. You need to give it 100% every time you play or you practice. And I also feel that it's important that you pay attention to these coaches because they can really help you. Like Chad's already said, they taught me most of my football too. And I would just like to thank them for inviting me here to this banquet tonight.
This is Bobby Coffey. I may have left his last name out. Bobby was a striker too.
I'd like to thank the Mendons for letting me be here and tell the football players to keep playing football and remember to do what the coaches say and learn what they say and do it right. Learn the right ways and how to play, and the cheerleaders to keep cheering and keep up the grades, because grades are important for football. You got to have good grades to play in high school, and also football won't be there all the time. You need to keep up the good grades so that when you get through with high school, you can go out into the world and get a job. Thank you.
These boys got a trophy at the game the other night, and these are certificates that we pass out. This is where Ronnie likes to have his fun on the road. You boys come on up, and I call your name around to the right, and we'll just give a little background to their parents to let them know exactly where they stood with us while they played on the football field. Brian Chapman. Brian was the lineman for us. Brian probably came as far as anybody I've ever seen come on a football field this year. When he first got there, wait a minute, Brian. When he first got out there, and his dad about for it, I'd hear him out there. And at first, his dad wouldn't get out of the vehicle. And then the longer he stayed out in practice, the further he got out on the field. And then by the last game, I was willing to say, well, Mr. Chapman, why don't you coach the team? But really, I could hear his daddy say, get going, Chapman. What are you doing, Chapman? But this guy really came a long way this year. He came a long way, and we look forward to him being back next year, right? Right? Is that a promise? You got any buddies that know how to play? Ryan did not miss a practice. Did not miss a practice. He did a great job for us, and we enjoyed having him on the football team. Good job, Ryan. This next boy played wide out for us. He did miss some practice. Joseph McNeil. These boys are 10-year-olds, so they will be back in 2 years. Joseph had a lot of problems. One of them he didn't like to coach. Among the others, I don't know. He did have a tough time with allergies, but Joseph came along. He missed the last week of practice basically, and we tricked him, guys. You know how we used to trick teams. We tricked this team, and Joseph didn't get to see all the offense we had put in, so we didn't get to use him quite as much as we wanted to the last game. But Joseph's going to be all right. I think he came a long way too, don't you? See you next year. Hey, better quit eating all of the cake. This is another 10-year-old. He really helped us out this time. Robert Gilbert, Chris. I just call him Gilbert. This guy's got the true blood. His dad was a great athlete. His uncle was a great athlete. And he's coming along, I guarantee. He came a long way this year, and we look for great things out of him next year. He's a hustler. He gets after it. He'll play hooky, but his daddy jerks him around. He'll bring him to the play. Even if he plays hooky, he brings him back. He's not going to play hooky if he's out here, he tells me one day. You remember that? But I've seen him cry and get back and get mad with me and go again and cry a little bit more and get mad and go again. But he got better. He got better, and we look forward to him being a great athlete. And he will. He'll do a good job for us next year. Make sure he's back. Okay. See. Another thing we have to start out on the line, Scott Underwood. This guy was probably the best offensive lineman I've seen as a 10-year-old since I've been coaching the 12 years that I've been involved with this program. I don't know where he got it from. His daddy wasn't worth that too. His daddy's a great player too. We kind of cheated. I found out Reed was moving back to town, and Reed signed with the University of Alabama as a great football player. And I knew that there was some blood right here too, just like with the Gilbert boy. And so we convinced him to come out there, and we thought we had lost him for the last game. His knee wasn't exactly right. But he has promised me that he and I both will lose 60 pounds by next year. So we can both line up and play, right? But he is a great blocker. You can see this guy playing later because he'll get after you. He really puts that right down on you. He's going to be a good football player. And if he and I both can just lose some weight, I won't die of a heart attack, and he's going to be able to play with the Bombers again next year. Right there? Right. All right. Good job, Matt. This boy is our party boy and one of our better fighters, Harry Menden. Well, as you're aware of, Harris is partially mine, I suppose. I promise you those 12-size shoes he's wearing are not mine. Hold up. Hold up your foot, Harris. Show him your foot. He might show it too. Harris is another one of our 10-year-olds. That's what one of the coaches asked me. He said, where did y'all get all these big hogs sitting in there? I said, we developed them over a period of time. And all those big hogs sitting in there on the line basically were 10-year-olds. And they really came a long way. Harris couldn't even get them at the beginning of the year, and I don't think he got much better at the end of the year. But he did try, and he did. He played great the last game. I watched him the last game. He played better. We hope that he'll go and die with Mr. Underwood and I, and we'll all be able to come back next year, right, man? Right. Thank you. This was our biggest player, and he did kind of blow up the fight too, Jay Hastings. Jay is this is a pleasant surprise to our football team. We were in dire need of a defensive back, and Jay just happened to come along, and he is a very coachable person, and he was a delight to coach. And he played a little ugly sometimes, but that's part of Jay's nature. You know Jay, you know why he gets after you like that. But Jay likes to hit you and then likes to trick hit you and cheap shot hit you. But he's a good football player. And we look forward to Jay coming back next year. I can see him running for many a touchdown next year. So make sure you pick it up, okay? And get on those grades. Get on those grades. One of our 11-year-olds, he's played with us 2 years. His granddaddy drove a long way to come see him play. He was 5'2", Ski. Ski is, Ben Brzezinski. He can't say it. That's why he called him Ski, if you want to know the truth. Ben's already broken the news to me. He's not coming back next year. But he did a great job for us as a defensive end, outside linebacker this year. And then we worked him into the scheme in our little offense that we ran the last part of the year. I think he scored a touchdown, didn't he? Just think if you would come back, I could let you score 5 or 6 touchdowns. See, that'll be on his mind now for a while. Mr. Brzezinski had the patience with us though, and Ben came a long way. He played well, and he did a really good job for us. I get on him quite heavily sometimes and yell at him and scream at him. Then I go back and look at the film, and then I'd have to go back and apologize. Well, it wasn't you, it was this guy over here. But Ben came a long way. He did a great job for us. He's a pleasure to coach. Very coachable football player. And that's the kind of people you like to have around. He'll talk back a little bit, but you just have to ignore that. But he's going to be good one day, too. Good job, Ben. This guy came out and played with us 1 year, really helped us. He was just so easy going. He was not fighting. Steve Burks. All he wants to do is smile at him. I got to tell y'all a true story about Steve Burks. I was trying to inspire kids to play better the last game. Come here, Steve. And I told them, I said, you know, that's the Westgate wussies over there. Those guys don't know how to play. That's the other thing, the Westgate wussies. And I said, they're the rich kids. They're on the other side of the track. And I said, these guys have been talking about y'all. Y'all are on this side of the track. And then Coach David came up to me after a while and he said, Burks didn't understand that, Coach. He said, Burks said, there's no railroad tracks near my house. He did a great job for us, though, and he is a good football player. He's got, by the way, you saw his uncle. So his uncle played for Georgia Tech Saturday. He's Bam Burks. And he's a defensive tackle. I think he's a sophomore, junior at Georgia Tech, and one day Steve will be a junior at Georgia Tech, right? That'll be good. Steve did a good job. This is our 12-year-old group, which has been a good group this year. Brian Yeomans was on our team he's been on our team for 3 years, right, Brian? 3 years. 2 years, he got his collarbone broke. But I saw him I saw him out there this year, strike the first blow, and Coach David, who handles our defensive back, told me, he says, this guy right here is a star. He says, he'll get at you. And then he took a licking against the Jets, and I said, he may not get at you, but he stayed in there and hung in there and played tough, and he came a long way. You can ask his dad, and he did a tremendous job for us, and he's one of the reasons that we're city champs. This guy right here, he get at you. Good job, man. We're gonna need it.
This is our defensive back. He's been pantyhose, been with us 2 years. He's always been pantyhose with us. It's Jason Watson. He was our quarterback all day.
Jason Watson, I was telling his dad coming in tonight, I've never been so pleased as I was to see him throw the football the last ball game. He, and I stayed on your head a few times this time. I asked him, I said, is it tougher this year than it's ever been? He said, no, it's easier. That made me mad when he told me that. But the game before this, I thought he was playing possum on me. And Robert Moore wasn't around. Robert's our in-house orthopedic surgeon, I suppose, at this point. We'd find the injury and he'd fix it for us. But I said, he doesn't want to play, so pulled him out of the ball game. He's still limping, so he comes to practice on Sunday, and his ankle's as big as my head, and I felt like a heel. That's pretty big. But Jason did a great job for us this year. He kind of operated the offense for us, and we're going to miss him. It's going to be hard to replace somebody that kept our team together as well as he did, and then kept the secondary going like he did. How many interceptions you get this year? Got 2 interceptions that were big ones, and how many touchdowns? You don't know how many extra points. You don't know that either. You got a girlfriend here? Oh, you don't have a girl. He told me not to let any girl sit in front of him tonight. And I see you got all of them sitting in front of him. But we're going to miss Jason. He did a great job for us. Good job, man.
This guy played for us 2 years, played center, and linebacker and defensive tackle, Larry
This is, I think this is the best center that the Bombers has ever. If I had to pick a team overall that we've ever had, Bart Collins be my center for that football team. When he was in there, we started out as going to play the fullback, he quit. I said, oh Lord, we can't help this. Not this guy, this is cornerstone of this football team. So I had to go carry him in to come back out there. He said, if you just leave me alone, let me play my position, I'll be happy. So we put him back in center and we quit fumbling the football. We started moving the football. And if I had, like I said, if I were to pick a team over all the years that we played, I believe this guy right here would be our center on that football team. He's that good a center. You'll see him in high school play the center one day if he decides he wants to play that game. Let me tell you about his dad, though. His dad brought to us the guy that we had up here earlier, won the award, the Hall Award. And I want to tell you, I'm advertising now. You got some kids out there that you think need to be in our football program. You let us know during the summer. We want to invite them to get out there and play for us. His dad brought us one of the best football players on our team this year, and it was Mr. Bob came to me. He said, Ryan, he said, he can play the game. He says, why don't you, let's see if we can get him out there. Sure enough, he came out, and he really had our football team. But this guy right here, we stood him up. I don't know if anybody knew what we were doing. We stood him up the last game, and we played the Tennessee 5. It came from the University of Tennessee. We stood our nose guard up, let him slant to the side the ball was going to. It really paid off for us, and we could have done that for our Tyler sitting in there. I kind of thought earlier, if we had done that during the season,
quite a bit earlier, I don't think we'd lost the football game. And maybe we mishandled Bart a little bit. But he did a great job. He's a good, coachable kid. I think he and Brzezinski are two of the best, rounded, easiest coached kids I've ever seen. And it's just been a real pleasure for me to be, or to have an opportunity to coach a guy like this. And I look for he and some of these other guys to go a long, long way on the football field later in their career. Good job, Bart. This guy came out this year and played with us. He wasn't the biggest, but he's one of our better blockers, Brian Seymour. Brian hung in there with us. He stayed hurt quite a bit. I really didn't know if I said, God, you can't let a midget play. But this midget right here will hit you, buddy. He will knock your head off. And I wish he had 20 more pounds on him. He would really have been something. But he did a great job. He'd get out after you real fast and get in your face. It gave our backs an opportunity to run inside a little bit. And we played with strong guard over on our strong side where we carried the football quite a bit. He did a great job for us. We got to get a little weight on him. And then you'll see him later too. Good job this year, man. How'd you enjoy football? You loved it. Well, that's good. I'm glad somebody did. This guy came out the first year for us. Really helped us out. Should have caught about 6 more touchdown passes. Here Moore. Here Moore is not like his daddy. He can catch a football. Now, I don't really know that, Robert. You might can catch a football. Eric Moore can catch a football. And we saw that early, but had a little problem here. He wanted to block the way he wanted to block, not the way I wanted him to block. So he and I had a confrontation every day at practice. He'd look at me and say, I don't care. And I'd look at him and yell at him a little bit. He'd go back and pout a little bit. He'd come back mad and just tear somebody's head off. He'd go back. Got down to closing part of our season and everything. We started throwing the football. Every day I'd look at more and somebody would say, well, coach, you quit. Then they'd say, oh, he's going hunting. Or he's going to the beach. But here he hung in there with us. He is going to be a good football player too. Great hands. Probably one of the best kids as far as hands that we've coached in a long time. And he is going to be a good one. This is your first year playing too, isn't it? I'm really kind of surprised because Robert and I are friends. We go back a ways. We talk about knee injuries, and as you know, Robert's in the medical profession here. And I was surprised when he came out there and we played midget football. But I think that he grew up a lot this year, and I look forward to seeing him in high school playing football somewhere. Good luck to you, man.
Thanks.
Good job. This kid played for us 3 years. He was a fighter. Billy Solomon. Wild Bill. What can you say? He's a good. He likes to fight. This guy fight anybody. Me, it didn't matter. He'd fight me, he'd fuss at me, he'd fight the other coach, he'd fuss at them, and he loved to fight them guys on the other side of the line. And I was always afraid that Billy get thrown out of a football game. I said, now Billy, you can't lose, you could. But Billy Solomon, when he was 10, you couldn't tie your shoe right, could you? Not on the football field. But Billy Solomon meant a lot to this football team this time. He made some great plays. We didn't get to play him offensively as much as we wanted to because we had so many young kids that we wanted to play quite a bit. But he did a great job for us. He's been a pleasure to coach. I've seen him grow up a lot. And he has learned to control his temper, and he doesn't fight quite as often. We've only separated him 3 or 4 times of practice now. And it used to be every play. So he has really grown up a great deal. And I didn't see him fighting anybody at all hardly when we went out and played the other teams. But he did a great job for us. I look for him to play in high school too. Good job, Billy. Enjoy it. This kid took after his mother's side of the family. He was a fighter too, Donald Mendon. I know better. Jimmy Donald. JD threw the shoe off at us one day at his daddy. Took it off and threw it at his daddy. I said, Coach, what are you going to do about it? He said, what are you going to do about it? Jimmy Donald did a good job for us too. He's quick. He was our quick tackle. Mr. Solomon was our steady tackle, and this guy just went everywhere. As David said, we probably should have played him as linebacker, but it was so late in the year that we didn't feel like we could make any changes at that time. But he struggled through it. We both grew up a little bit, got to know each other a little bit better. He even got to know his daddy better. So that always helps. But he's going to be all right. He's got a lot of speed, and he can have to get to. So we enjoy coaching you, man. Going to miss you too. All right, see you. This kid played defensive end for us. He was 2 years. He was at Jeffrey Cox. Jeff Rose. I didn't know this, but Jeff Rose talked back to me a little bit too. But Jeff and I got to know each other a little bit better this year also. I don't know what I did to these guys to make them mad. I'd play them on offense, they get mad. Play them on defense, they get mad. So finally said, you're going to play where we tell you to play. So we got along better than there. Jeff did a great job. Jeff was one of our defensive ends. And he and Brzezinski had a lot to do with us winning because they kept things hemmed up in there. And the better he got with me, the better he played. But he's at the point right now to where if he gets too mad, he wants to just quit. So I'd have to get him just so high and then cut him loose and say, go get him back. But he's going to be a good football player one day. I thought he had another year coming back, come to find out he's 12. But you'll see him playing somewhere down the road if he wants to play football. Because he's got the ability to play. He's going to be a good athlete. He's got a pretty good attitude about the game. And we enjoy coaching him. He was a pleasure to coach. Good job, man. We had this kid on 1 year, but he really helped us, our tailback, Richie Crowder. Word was, after 2 days of practice, Richie Crowder went to his dad and said, Dad, I didn't know anybody could call somebody's name as much as mine had been called out there on that football field. He said, it's an everyday affair. Crowder, you're doing this wrong. Crowder, you're doing that wrong. Crowder, do you do anything right? Is that the way it was? Pretty much. That's pretty much the way it was, too. Rich Crowder got great speed to be as good as he is. He's going to be a really good football player. This year is the second year of ever playing, right? Third year of ever playing football. And I'm just glad that, as I've said earlier, that we had an opportunity to coach this guy. I stayed on him heavy duty time. I apologize for that. But if you ever come back out there where I am, I get on you again. Can you handle that? Yeah, I think you can. Richie did a great job for us. He's going to be a really good football player. Very, very coachable. No problem out of Richie Crowder. Yes sir, no sir, no questions asked. Just wouldn't do what he said do, but no questions asked. No, he really did. He tried hard. And he was really an asset to our football team. Really did a good job for us. We're going to miss you, buddy. Good job. Some of the tears cried out there. I think this kid had about half of them, but he really helped us fix the parish. I'd say, Paxton, your blood is too good, son. I don't want to hear it. I can't do it that way. I said, you can do it that way. I said, Paxton, do it the way I say do it. Coach, I can't do it that way. And
and then he'd pal up. And then I'd get mad and I'd pal up. Then he'd shed a tear. Then I'd shed 2 tears. And then we'd fuss and fight. And then I'd say, Paxton, do it my way. No, I can't do it that way. It's impossible to do it that way. And then his daddy, he's another Mr. Chapman. Here he comes out of the car, out on the field, out in his boy's face, telling him what he's doing right or wrong. But this guy won us the last football. He played well enough the last ball game to pull it out for us. And we knew we had to have it out of he and Steve Burks at linebacker. And then we stood far enough inside. And Paxton Parrish played, I think, the best game I've seen him play all year, the last ball game. And he put it on the line when he had to put it on the line. And that's why I think he's a winner. I think he's going to be a good football player. He's going to have to learn to do what the coach says and to go wide open every play. We had him as a 10-year-old, and then he got infected with the soccer disease, and he missed a year. And then he came back and played as a 12-year-old, but he did a great job this year for us, and I'm tickled that he came my way. He's one of the reasons that we have that city championship, and it's their city championship, because this is something that will be with them just like it's with these 3 guys that came here. And one day he'll come up and tell everybody, you know, it is important to be on the winning team and to give that little extra effort that it takes to be that much better a player. He did a great job, Paxton. We're going to miss you, baby. Now, Ms. Williams, are you here? Come here, Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams really our all-time team mama. That's what she is. We coached her 2 kids, and I couldn't believe it. She comes to the games, and she's been coming to our games for years, and she means a lot to our football team and to us as coaches. And she's a sweet lady. And she's responsible for the decorations here, and we love her. She's just one of our mothers. That's what she is to us, and we love her to death. And we just got a small token for you here to say thank you for what you mean to us, and we love you.
I want to thank all the parents for doing what I asked you to do, really. And it was a privilege to be a teen mother, I guess that's what I am. And I want to thank Jackie Hicks for helping me decorate this morning and Shay Bendham. She was responsible for this pretty banner. And it's nice to know that the coaches hasn't lost their touch. Because I had 2 sons that played with them, and I had one that quit every day after practice. He would go home and he says, I'm going to quit, I'm not going back. And then the next day he would be right back out there. And he was one of these that the coach fussed. Donald would say, David would say, hit it, and he knew that he had to do push-ups. Go home, Mother, I'm not going back. Okay. Next day, you couldn't hog tie even at home. And so I'm glad to know that the coaches, they still hop, and they still jump up and down. So don't ever lose your touch. And I want to thank the coaches' wives, really, because you know sometimes these coaches' wives, they have to put up with an awful lot. I wouldn't have my husband coach for anything, because I wouldn't put up with them going to practice every day, and then if you lose the ball game, oh boy, I can imagine what their whole life was like when they got home. So I just want to give them this oh, they didn't know. And I want to give this to Judy Mendham. Liz. Anyway. What is it, Mom? Cynthia. Shay. And didn't know who's Kathy. And thank y'all all again for letting me do this.
Chris Gilbert and Christian Metcalf. This is a surprise. I don't know what this is. I guess y'all want to sing?
On behalf of the 1988 City Championship Bomber team, I was asked to award these plaques to the coaches. Coaches, when I call your names, please step up. Coach Ronnie Minton. Coach Donald Minton. Coach David Minton. Last but not least, Tommy Webb.
On behalf of the Bombers cheerleaders, I would like to show our appreciation to Ms. Jackie Smith.
I don't know how many of y'all know Larry Pine. He coaches the Cubs. Larry's a very good friend of all ours. We always have a stakes up or orchard circle bet on this game. And we beat him, I guess, 9 years in a row. And last year, he wanted to ask him which, I always give him the choice which game he wants to have, which game he wants to bet the supper on. And last year he said, the first time we played, we were a little bit weaker. That's probably the weakest team we ever had last year. And we beat him. Then he turned around and beat us in the playoff and just killed him. This year I said, Larry, which game do you want to have the supper bet on? He said, last time we played. I really thought we had a much better team. We went out, we did a poor job coaching, we waddled around, they beat us. They were on cloud nine. That's the happiest I've ever seen that guy. They were just so high, and they really thought they were going to beat us this last time we played. I thought we should win if we get out there and play. But we really broke that guy's heart now. He brought up another area to appreciate it. That just killed him. Any you coaches want to say anything? Coach David?
Just say I enjoyed it. Pleasure coaching y'all. Thanks for having him out there. And I want y'all to know I got in trouble that next morning because of y'all. Because y'all won, I stayed out too late and got in trouble.
I got in trouble too. Thank all the parents and everybody for all this banquet and providing us with kids to work with. And we enjoyed looking forward to having those back. The three down here on the end, I had the pleasure of working with for 4 more years over at Dothan High. And folks, we went 5-4 this year over there, but they deserved a lot better because that is 3 fine football players and fine young men. And I hope you guys out there grow up to be just as good of people as they are because they're super young men. Thank y'all for everything.
7 weeks out of town, I had practice.
Young man, it's a pleasure for me to work with y'all this year. I appreciate the opportunity that y'all gave us to be out here.
Want you back in next year. We do have a coach missing, Jackie. He's off at a co-op school in Jacksonville, Florida. Right? You said all you want to say? Yeah. This is game ball, and I guess this is our 11th one, and Coach Wells told me he never had received one. I think he had. This is Coach Wells' ball.
Here we go.
Any people in the riding mood, I appreciate you writing Pepsi Coach, and we sure appreciate them furnishing these drinks for us. Appreciate Coach Wells furnishing the table goods, and Ms. Doris, we just appreciate you, love you so much. And you parents, cheerleaders, and bombers, it was a good year.